Hidden in the heart of the commercial industrial life of Sao Paulo, Brazil, where South American good neighborliness thrives, is found an unusual occupation which is dedicated to the tiniest of our good neighbors. They enter without fear, and why shouldn't they? Without them, the place would perish, the place being fairyland. No little mother heart but will find here the child of its dreams, even if it's a funny dream of a topsy-turvy girl that changes in an instant in a flurry of petticoats. Well, looks like they've found each other for keeps. But it isn't good for little girls to follow here, where life begins in a doll's house. Mass production is necessary to fill all the empty arms stretched out for comfort from every quarter of Brazil's vast domain. They have to make faces in a hurry, that is, in a mold. Thousands of them, then trim away the superfluous felt and silk. And the way they blow the hues of health in their faces will make their beauty skin deep, while red lips will shed no telltale prints. Now for the doll's crowning glory, her hair. All any little mother could say of the operation is that it's always successful. As for the elaborate wardrobes, scores of artists and designers with a genius for color and form search the rainbow for brilliance and scour the entire country for native and characteristic designs. There's a doll created to feel at home in every section of Brazil, and in every nation as well. A good neighbor fairyland where dark-skinned and fair, arrayed in their finest, confidently await the coming of their mothers, where a platinum blonde with northern lights in her hair hobnobs with a native market basket girl. Thousands of dolls ready for loving arms, Brazilian ambassadors of goodwill, awaiting the stork to bring them a mother. The falcon is not a cruel bird. The falcon is a hawk and behaves as a hawk should. No wonder this valiant cousin of the American eagle has been trained in an unusual occupation. In this most ancient of arts, the falconer today hoods his bird exactly as was done 2,000 years B.C. And his favorite falcon still is the female of the species, the peregrine. Talons like these would enable the falcon to intercept the flight of enemy carriers, bearing messages of vital importance to our arms. At first, the lure is a feather-covered object to which meat is attached. The bird learns through the cord fastened to the lure that she's welcome to the food, but must not carry the target away from her master. The trainer's most anxious moment is when, for the first time, he releases the falcon. The bird is free with only 2 tiny bells on her legs to remind her of captivity. The bells will aid in her recapture should she forget to come back. Gifted by nature with astounding maneuverability, under training with a swinging target, she achieves an invincible coordination of eyes and talons, a perfect and deadly weapon on wings. The final test, the falcon's moment, the capture of a bird which might be laden with enemy orders bearing death to our boys in its wings. Those orders would never reach the foe, thanks to nature's fastest, fiercest bird, the fearless, peerless falcon. If you can think of anything less useful than a burned-out electric light globe, tell Robert Searight of Long Beach, California. Maybe he could use it. He's been opening globes with a file for many years, salvaging thousands of them, from the tiniest to the largest made. With the filament removed, nothing remains but an empty globe, aching for art. And there it goes. Things go in folded to be unfolded inside. Why, he can even put art in a flashlight bulb. More than 1,300 pieces are laboriously assembled in the larger group designs, such as this battle fleet and carrier with flying planes overhead. That's a job for a Job. Ordinary boxes supply the wood, so that Mr. Searight's is the least expensive of hobbies. And neither is it very profitable, for he makes them solely for his own amusement and his friends' amazement. For a paperweight, there are those homely philosophers, Amos and Andy. Or a model telephone station. Or a covered wagon heading west. Or a bride and groom occupying one of the smallest globes. And all with the compliments of Mr. Seawright, whose hobby is global art. Yes, around the world it means the same, but at Sweetwater, Texas, the rough stuff is left out of the song. For here at Avenger Field is the world's only military flying school exclusively for women. Every hour until 10 at night will be devoted to the science of flying big planes and small. As their emblem implies, they hope someday to girdle the globe with their wings. But at present, their flying is confined to the United States. Though they may not fly and fight, they will release masculine pilots who will. The day begins with earphones and the dots and dashes of the Morse code. Well, might be a weather forecast of a fair and warmer weekend. Everybody talks about the weather, but here they do something about it. In the meteorological class, they map squally areas and learn to be safe pilots of the costly ships they're to fly. The link trainer is well named. It's the last link to bind them to Mother Earth. The roughest weather is simulated, and the pilot is tested for fitness to cope with real emergencies. Well, this girl has really taken punishment, and she likes it. In the briefing room, they plot the day's flight in one of the 5 types they must master before they're entrusted with Uncle Sam's heavy and costlier planes. Oh, there's nothing new about this, for every girl must have had 35 hours flying time before being admitted to Avenger Field. And each month, each plane finds a new girl at the controls, for each month finds scores of girls qualifying for various flying missions, including the ferrying of planes from endless assembly lines. Time is the very essence of their work. Last-minute instructions before the supervisor gets into the buddy seat, a discreet but vigilant backseat driver. Advanced students get twin-engine ships. Tower girls, not WASP trainees, give the go signal. In these PT-19s, they learn the Army way. Though each girl is a pilot when she comes, she must adjust herself to a new technique, and hairdos are sacrificed. Nothing goes on or up unrecorded by the tower watch. The girls have the identical type used by the cadets at Randolph Field. Mass training proves the girls to be superior at instrument flight, but not men's equal in reaction to emergencies. Their emblem is called a Fiffinelle, the Gremlin's little sister. Always trust a Fiffinelle, they say. And every girl an American champion in the staggering job of eclipsing the sun with our wings and burying our foes with our bombs. Isn't she a beauty? Oh, you said it, brother. And brains, too. It takes brains to read these instruments. Time out for the daily sunbath, storing up energy against the grueling training of minds and bodies for the tremendous responsibilities that lie ahead. 6 American beauties, 12 where there's a pilot and co-pilot in each, and ever more girls applying at Avenger Field, eager to fly for Uncle Sam, eager to win the wings and assume the duties for which women were once deemed unfit. Unfit? Oh, physical standards as rigid as for their brothers at Randolph Field. Graduates now, they're members of the Women's Air Force Service Pilots, fearless as falcons and twice as fast. And in their new and unusual occupation, these modern girls are still the feminine heirs to a noble tradition of pioneering strength and courage. Off they go to be conveyed to other ferry stations or to factories in the continental United States in order that they may deliver new fighter and trainer planes to masculine fighting hands. Stronger hands, perhaps, but no more valiant than those of their sisters, the Wasps.